What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and Merry Christmas. Hope you had a great vacation and a celebration year. It's about time to make your New Year resolutions and set goals for yourself, because based on numerous studies, it's been shown that only 3% of population set goals for themselves and only 1% of them actually write them down. And about today's video, we're gonna create this Santa Sleigh that you see up there. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet and new to channel, just click on that button below and hit the bell to get the notifications. So without any further delay, let's get it started. Press A to select everything and X to delete all of that. And let's add a reference image. Press Shift A, then from the image and the reference, and I'm gonna bring this image for our tutorial. It should be our reference image. And then first of all, let's reset the rotation and location of this one. Press Alt G and Alt R. Then I'm gonna rotate that 90 degrees on the X-axis. Press R, X and type 90 and push it a little bit to the side like this. And from this part you can enable the selecting option, and I'm gonna enable it, and let's disable this selection for that part. In that case, I won't select it by chance. Then let's start modeling our sleigh. Press 1 to go to front of the graphic view and bring a plane. Then press tab to go to edit mode and R and X, then rotate it 90 degrees on the X-axis. And let's scale it down a little bit to fit this shape here to something like this. And it wouldn't be hard, we're just gonna make this shape here all over the shape, just extruding that. And after that we're gonna add a subdivision modifier for that one. And let's find the correct positions for that one. Select these ones, and you can extrude it, select both of them and press E, or you can just, let's undo that, or you can just select this one and hold Control and then right click wherever you want. You can extrude like this as well. It would be faster than previous one. I'm gonna extrude the whole shape here, and after that fix the positions of the vertices here. Let's find the good or proper positions for this one. And you see, it isn't a hard thing to do. I'm gonna leave a loop cut here, because after that I'm gonna extrude another loop cut from that part. Because of that, we'll need two vertices here or an edge here. Then this part as well, we'll need this part to extrude from this one. Let's bring it from here, and also this one, and like this. I'm doing it fast, but you can take your time and create really decent stuff and better models than this one. And maybe another one, this one, this one, this one. For the last ones, we can select all of them and press F to fill that. Then let's find the correct positions and fix the positions of some of the vertices here and there. There should be a little bit fixed. Right now they aren't in a correct position. We're gonna rotate them, find a good position for some of them, and maybe add some supporting loop cuts. Here I'm gonna add another loop cut. Press Ctrl R and bring a loop cut here. Right click to cancel the movement, and you can press R to rotate it, and something like this. And next one, I'm gonna fix this one, and then this one. You can enable the X-ray mode by holding Alt and Z, or you can just press here, just enable the toggle here, enable or disable that one. You can see the reference image better in that case. For this one, maybe we can change the place of this one, and also this edge I can rotate that, and also about this one as well. The other ones I think they are good, and also this should be a little bit changed. Here, also here. These aren't flat. I'm gonna flatten these parts a little bit, and this should become all the way up to down like this. Also about this one, and the others I think they are good. This part is left. Let's add another loop cut here and bring it up, rotate it, and maybe we're gonna fix this, or we're gonna add another loop cut here, bring it here, and this is really sharp. We'll need to bring it here, and also maybe we can fix it by just bring it down a little bit. Add another loop cut here, bring it higher. This one should be up to here, and let's add another loop cut here, and there you go, that's done. And press tab to go to edit object mode, and press Alt Z again to come to solid view, and you see that it's our base shape for the sleigh. Before we continue, I'm gonna take a copy of that one because of this inside part. I'm gonna need it later. Then let's take a copy, press Shift D, and right click to skip the movement, and then press H to hide it. I don't need it right now. And select this one again, press 1 to go to front of the graphic view, tab to go to edit mode, and we can extrude these parts as well. Select these two vertices, press E, and bring it all the way up to here. Again, let's enable the X-ray selection mode, Alt Z, and select two of them, rotate it, scale it down a little bit, and let's by holding Control and right click, let's again repeat the same process as we did for the main shape of the sleigh. Then extrude them, and you see I'm leaving two vertices for these parts to extrude them later, to connect them together, the upper part and the down part. And here it should be come all the way up to here, and this part, then this part. And let's press 2 to go to edge select mode, and you can select these ones and right click and bridge edge loops, and they would be connected really perfectly, or we'll need to fix them later. And it's a fast way to do that. And select all of them, and then bridge edge loops again for these ones as well. And for this one I'm gonna extrude it because it's not a straight line. And also about this one, we're gonna select this one and this one, and press F to fill that. Press 1 to go to the vertex select mode, and we can fix the shapes here. Let's add another loop cut here, find the correct position, and then we can bring it all the way up to here. Then we can change this position here, and maybe we're gonna change this one a little bit as well. The other ones should be clean, should be fixed, and this one I think should be fixed. Yeah, it is good. And maybe we can add another loop cut here, bring it down to make the shape better. And select these ones, these vertices here, the lower vertices. Press S, X, and Z to make the lower part a straight line. And we can press G and Z to bring them a little bit down. And maybe we can fix this one, bring it a little bit higher. And this one a little bit down, like this. And also we can do the same process for these ones as well. Press S and X and then Z maybe we can bring them a little bit higher. No, there's no needed for that. Or maybe we can do it the vice versa, bring them down a little bit. Okay, press tab to go to object mode and press Alt Z, and you see that we have the shape here, but we're gonna add a subdivision modifier. For that one, press Ctrl 2. I'm gonna add 2 levels of subdivision modifier for having a smooth shape, and if you change it to 1, you see that it won't be that smooth that we're gonna need. Because of that, I'm gonna use the 2 levels of subdivision. And you see that we have a problem here. For fixing it, we're gonna need some support and loop cuts. Press tab to go to edit mode, and we're gonna add support and loop cuts around these edges. Around all of these edges, we're gonna add support and loop cuts. Press Ctrl R and bring a loop cut here, another one here. You should do it for all of the edges here and there to fix this problem. You see that it's gonna be okay in that case. And another one here. Let's add the other one here, there. And there you go, we'll fix the problem here. And you see that when I press 1 to go to front image graphic view, and let's hide the image for now, and you see that we have a nice shape here, and maybe we can fix it, this sharp edge here. Maybe I'm gonna bring this one a little bit higher. It need a little bit, or we just bring them, select this one, this vertices, press GG twice to move along the faces, along the edges, and it's gonna be fixed right now. Yeah, it's fixed right now, and maybe we can select these ones and bring them a little bit to the back side, backwards, and add another loop cut here for maintaining the shape. And there we go. This is our base shape for the sleigh. And let's bring the plane that we take a copy of this one. It is this edge loop here that we take a copy. And we can press Ctrl R to bring a loop cut to the inside of this shape. And right click to cancel the movement, and press P, then selection to separate this loop cut here. Then I'm gonna delete this plane. There's no need for that one anymore. We're gonna need this one. Press tab to go to edit mode, press A to select everything, and press F to fill that, and then press tab to go to edit mode. And this would be the inside shape of this one here, of this sleigh. Then again, let's hide it, and let's add another modifier for this sleigh for giving it some thickness. We're gonna add a solidify modifier for this one, and let's increase the thickness to find a good amount. I think this would work for us. That is perfect, yeah. And we should bring it before the subdivision modifier, and let's disable the subdivision modifier for now. If you're satisfied with the thickness of the sleigh, we're gonna apply it, and after that work on the support and edge loops here. For applying the modifiers here, you can come to this part, and you see the apply option here. You can select this one, or you can just press the hotkey Ctrl A. You can hover your mouse on a modifier and press Ctrl A to apply that modifier. And let's bring the subdivision modifier back and make it smooth. Right click and shade smooth, and press tab to go to edit mode, and let's add some support loop cuts here and there. Let's add one in the middle, and right click to cancel the movement, press Ctrl B to bevel that part, and let's increase it to somewhere like this. I think it is good. Yeah, it's good. And we're gonna need another loop cut here on this part. Let's again bevel that part, to create a shape like this. And also we're gonna add another loop cut here and then bevel it again as we did for the next side here. Then here we're gonna add some loop cuts. This one, let's bevel it. It is good. And let's add another loop cut here, bring it all the way up, and maybe another one on the lower part. Let's add another loop cut here, then bevel it. This is the same process as we did for the previous ones. It's going to be fixed, you see. And I should mention that it's not a low poly modeling tutorial, it's a high poly, as you see. And let's fix this one and this one as well. And there we go. We've created the shape here. And let's bring back the inside part, and let's add a solidify modifier for that one as well. And let's bring a thickness a little bit, increase it, and press G and Y to bring it a little bit to the inside of the shape. And maybe this is a little bit too much for that one. Let's decrease it. And there we go, that's good. Then we're gonna delete this empty object. We don't need it anymore. But instead of that, let's come to here and add another window in this part. From that part, that window, we can change it to image editor and bring another image, reference image. And for the next reference image, I'm gonna use this one. So select these two of them and press 3 to go to side orthographic view, and let's bring them a little bit to the right part. And we're gonna add a empty object for mirroring these parts here. Let's select one of them and add a mirror modifier, and let's bring it a little bit down. And from this part, the mirror object, we're gonna select this empty object, and then let's change the axis to Y instead of Z. And you see that it's working properly. Then let's add a mirror modifier for this one as well. Let's add a mirror modifier for this one as well. Select it and come to the modifiers tab and add a mirror. And then choose the eyedropper tool and select this empty object and then change it to Y instead of X. Let's disable the X axis here. Then we have it, and we can select two of them and bring them a little bit near because they are too far from each other. Something like this. And maybe we're gonna need a metal coming through these ones as well. We can add it really easily by bringing a cylinder, and it has 32 vertices. It's too much. We're gonna decrease it to something like 16 and change the cap fill type to ingun to nothing, and press N to go to object mode, R and X, and rotate it 90 degrees, and press 3 to go to side orthographic view and bring it all the way up somewhere like this. And let's scale it down to something like this, and press S and Y to scale it on the Y axis and bring it to that point. And the pivot point is left here. We can fix it, right click and set origin and origin to geometry. It will be came back to its position, to its correct position. And let's bring it a little bit to that part and bring it higher, and there you go. Let's shade it smooth as well. And that's our pipe, I think, yeah. And press tab to go to edit mode, and again press S, and this time hold shift and Y to scale it just in X and Z axis, not the Y axis, and scale it down a little bit. Something like this is good. And let's make the lower part this part here. Maybe we can draw in this part. We're gonna create this part up to here, all the way up to here, the lower part of this sleigh. Let's clean them, and for making it, we can take a copy of this one and press X to go to the edit mode, and we're gonna just need these parts that we're going to extrude them along the y-axis. Then press 3, or from here we can select the face select mode and select the faces that we will need to extrude them, these ones. And because I created lots of edge loops here, maybe it take a little bit more time than usual to select them, but it is the method of doing that. Here, here, and this faces, this one, and this one up to here. Maybe we can select this one as well. Then press Shift D and take a copy of that one, and right click to cancel the movement, and again press P and selection to separate that one. And then we're gonna delete this additional stuff. We don't need it anymore. We're just gonna need this one, and press tab to go to edit mode and press A, and then but first of all, let's see that how many additional loop cuts here. We don't need them. Because of that, we're gonna delete some of them in advance before we extrude them, but because after that it would be a little bit harder and it would take a bit longer to remove them. Select this ones by holding Ctrl X. Let's delete these ones, or we can come to the edge select mode and select the edges easily and press Ctrl X to select the additional edges here and there, and to find a correct and right amounts of that one. We can select some of them and press GG twice to move along the edges, something like this, and select these ones again and press Ctrl X, Ctrl X, and again this one and this one. It is selecting the wrong edges here. Okay, and another one, I think we have it. Yeah, we have it here as well. There is no need for that one as well. Can clean this one, and also maybe this one, and that's enough. Press A to select everything, and before that, let's enable the clipping option, and X, then let's extrude them. But you see that we have an issue here. It has two reasons, because we have the faces on this part. We're gonna delete these faces. They are selected already. Press X and faces to delete all of the faces, and press tab to go to object mode and bring the mirror modifier before the subdivision modifier. And we can select these loop cuts here. Press 3 to go to side orthographic view, press 1 to go to the vertex select mode, and let's go to the X-ray mode by pressing Alt Z and select all of these ones and bring them a little bit to the inside of this part, and we can delete the faces as well here. Press X and faces to fix that issue here, and you see that we have a nice shape here for the inside part. But we can fix this one here, and we can press 2 to go to face select mode, and let's find the correct edges. Press G and Z to bring them a little bit down, maybe, or maybe we can press G and X and maybe a little bit bring it down to somewhere like this. And let's again enable the X-ray mode, select these two ones here, and press X and Z, bring them a little bit down like this. And there you go, that's good for now. That is the inside part of the sleigh. And then just these parts are left, this part, and also the gift parts. We're gonna add these parts first of all. They are really easy, and we're gonna create them by bringing a box. Press Shift A and add a cube, and bring it higher, and press 3 to go to side orthographic view. And let's scale them on the edit mode. Press Tab to go to edit mode and scale them on the Z axis. Bring back to object mode and press Tab to go to edit mode again, S and X to scale it on the X axis like this. And maybe press 7 to go to top orthographic view and bring them a little bit backwards. And it is good now. I think it's good. And maybe we can scale them on the X-axis a little bit more. Then we're gonna add a subdivision modifier for this one as well. Press Ctrl R to add two levels of subdivision modifier, and also we're gonna add a supporting loop cuts here as well. Let's add a loop cut in the middle, and then we're gonna bevel it to add a supporting loop cuts. And it shouldn't be too sharp, because of that we're not gonna make them so close to the edges. And let's add another one here, not like that. Press Ctrl B and like this, and let's shade it smooth, something like this. And we're gonna create these shapes here. It is really easy. We can add some loop cuts, some loop cuts, then this window will open up to you and you can change the amount of loop cut here. We're gonna add 9 or 7 loop cuts. I'm gonna add 9, and then select them, all of them, and also including these ones as well. And from this select part you can come here and select the checker deselect, and then in the case we're gonna select them and bring them a little bit outer to make this shape here. Or we can just disable that one. We can hold Alt and select this loop cuts. Let's start from here, here, here. You can select several loop cuts by holding Alt and Shift simultaneously, and there you go. Then we're gonna scale them on the normals. Press Alt and S, then we're gonna scale them on the normals to something like this, maybe, or not on the normals. We can scale them on the Z, on the X axis, and there you go. We create this shape on the backwards as well, but there's no need for that one. Maybe the first solution was good for that one. Let's select these loop cuts and bring them outer a little bit like this. That is good and better than previous ones. And we can enable the proportional editing, select it, or you can just press O on the keyboard. Let's select these vertices here and bring them a little bit higher. You can control the amount by scrolling down and up your middle mouse button. And I'm gonna create this shape for this one. It is good, and select all of them. Make sure that all of them are selected, and let's disable this one and bring it a little bit down like this. And also we can now we can take a copy of this one now. Let's Control D and R, then X90, not X, Y90, and we should rotate it on the X axis to somewhere like this. Yeah, it should be 180 degrees for that one, I suppose. Yeah, it's 180 degrees, and bring it a little bit outer and bring it down like this. And it shouldn't be that long here. We're gonna fix this one, and they are selected already. Let's bring them a little bit inside like this, and maybe we can flatten them. You can press S and X and flatten them a little bit, and there you go. We can bring it a little bit outside like this, bring it a little bit higher to somewhere like this, and that's it. Just the gifts part, just the gifts are left, and the material part. The gifts part are really easy. We can create a gift box by adding a cube, and let's first of all scale it. Where is it? Where does it go? Okay, it's here. I lost it. Press G and X and Z to bring it a little bit higher, and press 7 to go to front or to top or to graphic view. Bring it here to see where it should be, and scale it down a little bit more. And I think it is the good size for that, or maybe there should be a little bit smaller. That's good. And let's model it. Press tab to go to edit mode. Let's add a loop cut here, bring it a little bit higher around here. And we're gonna add 2 loop cuts on this side, and let's scale them on the x-axis. Press S and X, then scale them a little bit, and then this window will open up to you, and you can control the amount of the scale. And we're gonna change it to 0.5. 0.5 is good. And for the next part as well, we're gonna do the same process. Let's scale them, but this time on the y-axis, and again let's change the amount to 0.5, and let's enable the X-ray selection mode and select these higher vertices here, or maybe we can select this one as well, and we should separate them. Press P and selection, and you see that we have 2 different objects here. If you see that, we have the main box and the top of the box here, and we can again join them as one object. Select 2 of them and press Ctrl J to join them, but they are now separated from each other. If you select one of them, or if you hover your mouse here and press L, you see that it's a different object, and this one is a complete different object from that one. And we can select these loop cuts here, this one here, this one, and also the loop cuts on that part. We can extrude them along the normals. Hold Alt E and select extrude faces along normals. You can extrude them a little bit to something like this. But these loop cuts should be a little bit thinner than the higher ones, topper ones. Let's select them, and this time press Alt S to scale them on the normals, along the normals. We can change them like this, but don't be afraid of this problem. We can fix it. Press 2 to edge select mode and select this loop cut here, the upper loop cut, and we're gonna select these ones. Okay, press S and Z and then press 0 to fix that issue here. We can bring them a little bit higher to somewhere like this, or maybe a little bit higher as well. And maybe these are too outside of the shape. We can fix them. There are another ways of creating the gift box, and definitely better and maybe easier than this way, but I did in that way. before that I've created the gift box a little bit differently, but in the tutorial I found this way easier. And maybe we can add a bevel modifier for this one. Let's see how does it looks like. Maybe we can decrease it a little bit, and we can change the segments to 2. It is good. Yeah, I like it the way it looks like. Then we can, first of all, we're gonna give it a material, because it has a different materials in this part and this part. And after that, I'm gonna copy it several times and change the materials. Okay, the modeling part is done here. Not completely done. As I said, I'm gonna add some of the gift box later after that I give it a material. Now let's go to the material and texturing part. It's one of my favorite parts. Let's come to the shading part, and first of all, I'm gonna start with this part here. Click on selected and click on new. I'm gonna call it gold medal, and let's change the color to yellowish color, and increase the metallic all the way up to 1, and because it's a metal. And also for the roughness, I'm gonna add a noise texture for that one, and we're gonna add a color ramp. And also we can add a texture coordinate and mapping nodes manual by hand, or you can just select this noise texture and press Ctrl T, and they will open up to you. And as I said in the previous tutorials, if it doesn't work for you, you should come to the edit and preferences, add-ons, and from here you should search for the node wrangler add-on and check it on, and after that it will work for you as well. Then let's plug the factor to the factor and the color to the roughness, and from that part you see that it's stretching. It's because of it's giving the object data from the generated. I'm gonna change it to object, plug the object to the vector, and let's increase the scale of the noise texture a little bit, and we can increase the details of that one as well, and I think it is good. Or maybe we can a little bit decrease the roughness of that one, or increase the roughness. It is good, and I want it to be subtle, not like this. We can change the colors of this color ramp. You can come here and click on flip color ramp, and let's bring it a little bit, not that one, let's bring it to this part. And I don't want it to be completely white and this one completely black. Let's select it and decrease it to a grayish color, and also it's too much. Let's make it a little bit wider, and for that one again, I don't want it to be completely black, maybe something like this. And it's not subtle yet. I'm gonna make it subtle. Maybe it is good now. Yeah, it's good now. It's much better than before. And for this one, we're gonna add a red material. I'm gonna call it red, just simple red, and let's change the color to red, and it should be metallic somehow, a little bit, not so much. And about the roughness, it shouldn't have that roughness. It should be even, because it should be metal. And about this one, I'm gonna copy the materials from that one. Let's select it and then select this one and press Ctrl A and link materials, and there you go, we have a material for that one. But I don't want it to be a metallic material. Let's change it, but first of all, click on this 2 here to create a new material for this one, because they were copying, they were using and sharing the same material, each one of them. And let's decrease the metallic for this one, and maybe we can increase the roughness a little bit, and there you go. For this one, I'm gonna add a leather material. Let's call it leather, and select the principal BSDF, press Ctrl T to bring these nodes here. Let's open up this texture here. I downloaded this texture from texture.com, and the links of these images and also this texture will be in the description. You can use them freely. Let's select this one for that one and bring it a little bit to this left part. Select this one, just this part, press Shift D, duplicate it and duplicate it one more time. And I'm gonna select and I'm gonna plug this one to the roughness and select the roughness material for that one. And let's select the color to the roughness and let's connect the vector of the mapping node for the vector of this one as well. And also we're going to use it for the last one. It is for our bump node, and we're going to use a bump material for this one as well. You see that it's a height one here, and let's add a bump node here and let's connect the alpha to the height and the normal to the normal. And it takes a little bit time to load, and actually I've selected the wrong image for this one. I should bring this one, not that one. And also let's connect the color to the height. Yeah, it's my fault. Then let's decrease the strength. It's too much for this one. And also about the distance, I don't want that much distance. And also strengths, they are too much. It should be subtle. And also about the roughness, it's too shiny. We can fix this by adding a color ramp node, bring it here, and again flip the color ramp, and we can find a good result for this one as well by playing with the amounts to see which one and which color is really fitted for that one as well. Okay, this is good, and I can make it a little bit reddish. Let's add a hue and saturation node, bring it here, and we can increase the saturation a little bit and also the value to change the color a little bit, or maybe saturation is too much. That's good now. And we can copy the material of this one as well. Select it, and then select this one and press Ctrl L and then link materials that easily. And there you go. And the last part is this one, the gift box. Selected, I'm gonna call it gift or wrapping paper. And select this one again and press Ctrl T to bring these nodes here. And for this one, I'm gonna use these wrapping papers. I found them from the Google. Again, I'm gonna share the links in the description. You can download them easily. Let's select one of them for this one. I'm gonna select maybe which one? This one is good. And so from this part, the mapping node, on the scale part, you can select all of them, and let's scale them a little bit to something like this. And I'm gonna use another material for the ribbons. It should be a white material or another material from this part. Let's come to the material tab from here and click on plus to add another material. And by this one selected, press tab to go to edit mode and come to the face selection mode and select these faces, this one and also these ones as well. Let me find it. I can't find them. I can't reach them because we have another object. Okay, I've selected them, and let's click on new and assign. And you see that we have another material, but these ones are left. I'm gonna select these ones. I forgot to select and assign the side parts of this one. Let's select them and click on assign to fix that issue here. And there you go. We have this material here. And for this one, I'm gonna call it ribbons. and let's change the material to it is white, and maybe we can bring down the roughness a little bit more, something like this. And there we go. It's our material for the ribbons and also the gift box. And then we can now take a copy of this one easily and freely and make another materials for that one. Let's take a copy, press Shift D and bring it a little bit higher, and I'm gonna bring it 2 feet to somewhere like this, and press R and Z to rotate it a little bit. And from this one selected, you can select this wrapping paper, click on 2 to make it a single material. And from this part, let's change it to somewhere like maybe this one. And there you go, we have another material for that one as well. And we can select this one again and press Shift D and Y to bring it here, and press Tab to go to edit mode, and press 7 to go to top orthographic view. And then let's go to the X-ray selection mode and press 1, select this ones and this ones, all of the vertices here, and maybe we can scale them on the y-axis to somewhere like this. Let's press slash to isolate this one, just this one here, and press 1 and select these vertices here, bring them a little bit higher, and there you go. We can now fix this issue here. Press tab to go to edit mode and press A, then U, and unwrap them again. It doesn't work properly for now. It's a little bit weird because we changed the lengths of the faces. Because of that, it doesn't work properly. For fixing that one, let's undo that. And there are several ways, but I'm gonna do this one. Before giving texture, we can do it, and after that we're gonna give it a texture. Let's select it and press slash and to isolate it, and then select these ones, press G and Z to bring them all the way up to right part, or we can just select this part and these vertices here and just do the same thing as we did earlier, and select this ones, bring them higher like this, and maybe now it would be fixed. Let's try it. Let's add another material. I'm gonna call it again wrapping papers, and wrapping papers maybe 3, and select it, Control T, then bring another material, maybe this one, and now let's decrease it, and it's going to be good. This material I think works good for that one, and let's select this and also select the ribbons part here and there. Again, let's isolate it by pressing slash on the numpad, and you see it doesn't fix the edge. Yeah, I am seeing it now, but it's okay because it's just one object and it's under the another object. I can fix it now, but I'm not gonna take your time for that one because the tutorial, it's not about the fixing UVs right now. It takes time. Because of that, I'm not gonna do it right now. Maybe in another tutorial, I think. Okay, and press slash again to come back to our own world, and then let's take a copy of this one again and scale it down, bring it a little bit to the right part, rotate it, and maybe click on 2 here again, and let's add another texture for this one. Maybe this one would be good. And for the ribbons, I'm gonna add another color for that one. Maybe this would be good. Yeah, it's good. And let's take a copy again and bring it here. Let's rotate it, and maybe we can scale it on the z-axis a little bit to make it a little bit different. And select the wrapping paper, click on 2, and let's add a different one. Which one wasn't selected? I think we didn't select this one. Yeah, it is not selected yet. And maybe we can change the ribbons color again to somewhere like, which one should be good for this one? I think the red one was good, but I'm gonna choose it, the yellow one, for this one as well. And let's add another one and it would be done for our tutorial. Let's rotate it a little bit and maybe scale it on the y-axis and scale it on the z. Then I'm gonna apply the scale for this one. Press Ctrl A and scale. And let's change the materials. Change your wrapping paper to another material. Maybe this one. This one is good, but maybe we can choose another one. I think this would be good. Yeah, it is good. And for the ribbons, I'm gonna change the color to blue, maybe. Blue are good. Blue is good for this one. And there we go. And let's press R twice to rotate it freely. Press again. And let's find a good position for this one. Maybe we can bring all of them or scale all of them a little bit and bring them a little bit backwards and bring it a little bit here, and this one also here. And we can again rotate them and or take a copy of them, bring them here to fill this vacant and empty spaces. And bring it down, rotate it, press R twice to rotate it freely, bring it here, and let's take a copy of this one and maybe we can select it, and maybe we can change the ribbons color to something like this. This is good for this one, and bring it here, rotate it again, this one, and scale it down, bring it up, bring it down, and bring it higher to not collapse with that one. Maybe we can rotate it a little bit, and there you go, and there we go. Rotate it again. I don't want to collapse with that one, and there you go. And this part is left. Select this one and then this one. Press Ctrl L and link materials to share the same materials, but you can click on two and change the color to something like this white color, and I think it is too yellow. We can decrease the hue to make it a little bit subtle. And there you go, we've created this decent Santa sleigh. I hope you like it and enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed yet in the channel, just click on the subscribe button and also hit the bells in the case of not missing any new videos. Merry Christmas to all of you, my friends. See you on the next video.